Okay, let's just get right into it. If you've ever been human, you have felt the sting of rejection. It's just this universal pain, right? Well, today we're not just going to talk about why it hurts so bad. We are going to break down the actual science-backed steps you can take to heal from it. I mean, it's such a simple statement, but it goes so deep. And it really doesn't matter who it was, a partner, a friend, a job you really wanted. The second it happens, it feels like a physical punch to the gut.
You know this feeling, don't you? That heavy, sinking pressure right in the middle of your chest. It's a weight that just shows up and makes it hard to breathe, hard to think. It's a real physical thing.
Or maybe for you, it's more like this, that sudden lurching feeling, like the floor just dropped out from under you. You see, these aren't just clever phrases, they are your body's real response to an emotional blow. And this right here, this is probably the most important thing to get straight from the start. If you feel totally crushed by rejection, you are not being weak. You're not being overly dramatic. Your reaction is completely normal. In fact, science shows us it's hardwired into our biology. So, let's get into the science of it. The reason rejection feels so much like a physical injury is because, as far as your brain is concerned, it pretty much is one. Okay, check this out. A study from the University of Michigan found something fascinating. When you experience social rejection, a part of your brain called the anterior cingulate cortex lights up like a Christmas tree. And guess what? That's the exact same part of your brain that processes the distress of physical pain like a burn or a broken arm. So yeah, that feeling in your chest, it's not just in your head. It's a genuine pain signal. Okay, so we've established the pain is real, like neurologically real, but that doesn't quite explain why our minds get so stuck, right? Why do we obsess over the person who rejected us? Well, for that, we've got to look at the chemistry of our brains. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. When you're into someone, your brain is getting a steady supply of dopamine. That's the reward chemical. It feels amazing. But when rejection hits, that supply gets shut off, just like that. Your brain basically goes into withdrawal and starts scrambling, desperately searching for that person to get its fix back. And that is what leads to all this stuff. You're not going crazy. You're not some kind of stalker. Your brain is just trying to plug a chemical leak. It's a biological mission to solve a problem, which is exactly why the advice to just forget about them is so useless. All right, so now we get why it hurts. Now let's talk about the how. How do you actually start to heal? And I'm not talking about cliches or platitudes. These are real actionable strategies, every single one of them backed by research. Here it is. This is your roadmap. 4 clear steps that are designed to guide your brain out of that pain loop and onto the path of real healing. So let's break them down one by one. The first step is super practical, and honestly, it's non-negotiable. Research from Harvard shows that just limiting the visual and digital reminders, seeing them online, actually speeds up your recovery by keeping those emotional triggers at bay. So mute them, unfollow them, avoid those places that bring up memories. Look, this isn't about being petty or playing games. It's about putting a guardrail up to protect your own mind. Now, this one sounds almost ridiculously simple, but trust me, it is so powerful. Researchers at UCLA found that the simple act of putting your feelings into words, literally just saying, "I feel hurt," or "I feel angry and abandoned," actually calms down the emotional centers of your brain. It's like you're taking the chaos and giving it a name, which gives you a sense of control and dials down the intensity. Rejection feels like a direct attack on our value as a person, which is why this next step is so critical. And the answer isn't just thinking positive. No, the antidote is positive action. You build real confidence by proving to yourself that you are capable and that your life keeps moving. Go for a run, learn a new recipe, finish that tiny project you've been putting off. Every little action is a piece of evidence that your worth was never, ever tied to their opinion of you. Okay, this last step is all about grabbing the pen and rewriting the narrative. The story you tell yourself becomes your reality. So look at the shift. Going from "something is wrong with me" to "their choice doesn't define who I am" that's a monumental shift. You're not a failure. You've just been redirected towards something else. This isn't about pretending it didn't hurt. It's about taking back the power to define what it means. Now, like I promised, I want to share a really specific, really powerful technique. It's something a lot of therapists use to help their clients process deep pain without letting it completely hijack their lives. So what is this one technique that's designed to break that endless, painful loop of thoughts, what psychologists call rumination, that always seems to follow rejection. You ready? It's called the 10-minute emotional window. Here's how it works. Every day, you set a timer for just 10 minutes. And for those 10 minutes, you give yourself permission to feel everything. All of it, no judgment. Cry, scream into a pillow, write it all down, let it all out. But, and this is the most important part, when that timer goes off, you stop. You get up and you move on with your day. What this does is actually kind of brilliant. You're containing the grief. You're teaching your brain that yes, there is a time and a place for this pain, but it doesn't get to run the entire day. It short circuits that broken record of obsessive thoughts that just keeps the wound from healing. So as we wrap this up, let's just try to reframe this whole thing. You know, healing from rejection isn't about trying to get back to the person you were before. It's about seeing this as a chance to become someone even stronger. This is your path forward. Each one of these steps is a tool that you now have in your toolkit. You can use them not just to get through this, but to actually grow from it. It's about consciously, actively taking back control of your own emotional world. Let's end on this thought. Rejection is never, ever going to feel good, but it does not have to be the final word. A lot of the time, it's just removing what was never really meant for you to make space for what is. It is not a verdict on your worth, it's just a plot twist in the story of you becoming a stronger, more resilient person.